Hello there, and welcome to part 2 of our Final Fantasy XIV sleepy playthrough. When we left off last, our character, Julia Capicola, had just gotten to Summerford Farms, where we found that Summerford Farms was designed as kind of a rehabilitation work center for reformed pirates, since piracy has officially been outlawed in Limsa Lominsa. We have also been working on our Arcanist job class quests, and unpacking that story, where we found that the headmaster of the guild is not around, but the character, and I don't really remember how to pronounce her name, but she's a female Mikote, and her grimoire, i.e. little book here, was given to her by this headmaster. And she seems to be very official and into her studies, and mathematically inclined in studying our percentages of outcomes. So, with that, let us continue our story. In order to continue on, I had to have a item level or 5 and above for my weapon, helm, body, hands, legs, and feet. Here. So I am wearing a hempen hat. But I have since learned that Vieras have issues with headgear, so apparently they just don't try to render them at all. Yeah, okay. Let's see what Stalewern has to say. Let's have a look at you, shall we? Oh, as long as you're this well covered, I won't feel any guilt throwing you to the sharks. Erstwhile buccaneers are an ornery lot. They rage in love for the sea and care little for the laws of the land. But they respect strength, and by the looks of you, I'll say you'll have little trouble getting their attention. Ooh, a grimoire. Ah, Capicola. That aura of confidence tells me you've not been idle since last we met. I hope I've read you aright, for I have a task that requires the attention of a capable adventurer. Might that adventurer be you? Lurkers in the grotto. Stalewern, the owner of Summerford Farms, has a task for a competent adventurer. Good to hear. Then I shall lay before you the sorry tale. You will have heard rumors of the abductions. Aye, citizens have been disappearing from every corner of Limsa Lominsa, as if plucked from the face of Heidelin, boots and all, by an unseen hand. And what's this got to do with Summerford Farms, you might ask? Well, that remains to be seen. But it seems a collection of right unsavory fellows with azure tattooed faces has been creeping up to the edges of the fields and spying on my yeomen. Now, I doubt anyone would enjoy being scrutinized by such savages at the best of times. But the farmhands are convinced that they are the kidnappers of rumor, come for their hides. Needless to say, they're beside themselves with worry, and their work suffering for it, which is the very last thing I need when my old crewmen are still getting used to their new jobs. 'Tis a struggle to get 'em to leave the farmhouse of a morning. That is, as they say, where you come in. Would you be willing to investigate these tattooed thugs for me? Why, yes, I would. Good lass. The sooner we get to the bottom of this, the sooner this place will start to resemble a working farm again. I suggest you begin by having a look around Seasong Grotto. If reports are to be believed, our unwelcome visitors have occupied the place. Be careful, though, Capicola. I couldn't say for sure what manner of miscreants we're dealing with here. If they are the kidnappers, well, just be on your guard, all right? Okay. This way. What a beautiful day in Lanosia. Just, I mean, is there anything better? Any better views? I mean, I'm sure there's some, but this game gives you vibes for sure. Alright, let's run. Here's a boss fate. Do we want to go do that real quick? I think we should. Yeah, it seems to be being cleared right now. So let's go do it. 33, 34. Whoever's over here, I'm coming. Here we come. Alright, now let's start hammering away. Did we get a gold? We did. That was certainly worth. Now it's just a short jog over here. So they're below here? So where are they? Oh. Okay. So there's a tunnel here. That makes sense. Ooh. A boggy. Boggy. Boggies and the hunting longs. Okay. Level 9. Stone monument. Now we will interact with the monument. Anything going on here? You are about to enter into an instanced battle. Instanced battles only occur during certain quests and missions. Take a moment to read the information displayed on the active help window before answering the call of duty. Level sync is in fact if you're above. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I am the waves that bear. I am the winds that guide. I am the evening stars. I am the morning sky. I am born of the sea, and there shall I die. Thus reads the sailor's requiem, carved into yonder stone. Such words well describe the manner in which the citizens of Limsa, Lominsa live their lives. It is both a litany against misfortune for those out on the waves, and a prayer that the souls of those who perish on land might find their way back to the sea. Ah, you are the adventurer I've seen around Summerford Farms. I thought myself on the trail of the kidnappers, but it would seem I have missed my mark. Or perhaps not. As I suspected, the etheric disturbance here is no natural occurrence. Nor is it a coincidence that the two of us should come here in search of those responsible for the disappearances, only to be attacked.
Are you gonna, like, help out, or? This thing has teeth.
Who stands to benefit from the keeping of this secret? Oh, such thoughts must wait. Let us attend to the task at hand, unpleasant though it be.
A frenzied mossback. What's this? Oh, it's a... the debuff. Wow, we have to kill this thing for a long time. And I have a lot of buttons I can press. I.e. one. I can just whack the thing over and over. It's dead. Oh, now I have to kill the bogeys. Easy enough. I got experience for all of that too. That's pretty cool.
Phew.
Crystal. A blue crystal.
Hear, feel, think.
It's mommy voice again.
Crystal bearer. I am Heidelin, all made one.
Oh, okay. Hello,
A
Heidelin.
light there once
Are you the rock,
was
or?
that shone throughout this realm. yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them.
Oh, is this whole thing Heidelin? Because she was a little underwhelming as the little one.
Crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart. Shine thy light on all creation.
So I am light. Interesting.
Awake again, are we?
Did we just take a nap?
Aha! The poor creature's fury was kindled with cruel forethought. See this blade? I found it in the Gubu's back. I have seen knives of this kind before. They are most commonly used for the cutting of rope. It would appear our culprits are seafaring men of some persuasion, piratical being the most probable. In any event, you seem much recovered from your sudden affliction. I confess, I was rather taken aback when you collapsed at the very moment of our victory. Mayhap a surfeit of ether? I beg your pardon. A towering crystal. I'm sure I don't... Oh! Well, well. This has been a day of unexpected revelations. I must continue my investigation. In the meantime, I suggest you deliver this knife to your patron, along with a warning concerning the pirate's probable involvement in this murky business. The days ahead promise little rest, I fear. May our paths cross again, under the light of the crystal.
Okay, so we're going to return with the knife to Summerford, where the farm was designed as a work camp for pirates, but the knife comes from pirates. So there's clearly some kind of underground piracy club going on, and they're potentially responsible for kidnappings and or kind of stirring up trouble. This is my understanding at this time. Alright, Stillworn, here's your knife. Oops. Capicola, right glad am I Right glad am I to see you safely returned. My lads were gabbing about hearing what sounded like 7 hells breaking loose near the grotto, and I feared you'd been sent to your death. If you were in the middle of that commotion, I hope it yielded something of interest. I'd hate to think you'd risk your life for naught. Well, as a matter of fact, here you go. I have something for you. A blade pulled from the back of a creature you slew at the cave, eh? Aye, I'd agree that such a knife would be part of any seafaring man's kit. I'm starting to think that these ruffians are pirates, come to lure my farmhands back to a life of plunder. Chances are they didn't take kindly to your appearance on their doorstep, and they sent a maddened gooboo on you. Aye, the pirates have been added to their numbers of late, and I'd best warn the lads and lasses in my employ to be on the guard against their schemes. You met someone else at the grotto? A woman with a strange contraption? Ah, Yishtola. She's been in Limsa Lominsa for a good while now. Her studies of the ether often bring her out to Summerford, though her presence at the grotto is hardly unusual. She's an odd-looking lass, I grant you, but she's not the kind to associate with kidnappers. You may take my word for that. While trust should be lacking in those yeomen of mine who have yet to wholly relinquish their pirate pasts, the temptation to return to the free and easy life of a buccaneer may prove too strong to resist. You have my thanks, Capicola. If it weren't for the efforts of stalwart adventurers like yourself, this farm would have been in a far worse state than it is. Just keep on lending your talents to those in need, eh? Help bring Limsa to the brighter future she deserves. Alright, I'll take my potion. Steelworm is up in arms, as his hired hands are nowhere to be found. That sea sloth Severin and his lot never around when there's work to be done. I'd sooner hire you for the sake of getting things done, but then the rapscallions would never learn. Round them up, and let them know that Steelworm would like a word, and don't take no for an answer. Okay. So now I'm getting people to work. Is there anyone here I can speak to, or no? Is there somebody outside? There is. Soze Rarze. How am I supposed to work on an empty stomach? Go on, have a guess at what I had for breakfast. Ash tuna. Oh, gods, how'd you know? It's my breath, isn't it? It probably smells as wooden as the food tastes. But I know why you're here. I'd just as soon get some real food in me, but I ain't one to reject summons from the captain. That's right, get back to work. Dwarf. Little guy. So there's more below. Here's one. Woter. Work, huh? Can't work when my hands are full lifting this mug. You know, I'd wager me last skill you'd never guess what I'm drinking. Swill wine. Well, you're right about the swill part. I reckon it might be worth a day of doing still worse choice if I could afford me a taste of proper grog. Alright, we did the ones in the camp. Now we gotta leave the camp and get out in the fields. Looks like an orchard. Hello. A Rimnius? Axes were made for splitting skulls, not stumps. You know what I did in my sailing days? Wanton slaughter. You bet your bosom I did less. Aye, those were the days. I reckon now I'll have to be satisfied taking my axe to the trees. What a monster. Alright, Aylmer. So, Staleworn sent you. And what do you reckon I say to that? Work is for the weak and witless. Damn right. Didn't get where I am by taking guff from any glorified gardeners. But I suppose I could see what he wants to get him off my back. You guys are lazy. Big old lazies. Ooh, hello, Severin. Hi, I'm Severin. You the old man's errand girl now? Tell my dear old captain not to wet his britches. I'll be along. Oh, and just so we're clear, I don't care for landlubbers. Go find the chocobo you rode in on and ride on out. Okay. I mean, that's not the nicest thing you could have said, but yes, it is what it is. Oh, I can't get up there. Alright, Staleworn, I found your people, including Severin. You continue to impress, lass. All but Severin are accounted for. It's no fault of yours he squirmed out. I've let that worm wriggle through my fingers more times than I can count. But rest assured, the next time I see him, I'll put him squarely in the dirt, where all such worms belong. He's gonna kill him, or like just beat him up till he falls over? I mean, clearly, one of those translations is more literal than the other. Alright, Staleworn, what you got for me now? Double dealing. Staleworn worries his sack of oranges will not reach the Lithagran checkpoint as planned. Yes. Yes, I get to cover up finally. Pains me to say, but all the gil in the world can't buy loyalty. There are some like you who can be trusted, but then there are others. Until now, I've had no choice but to rely on that charlatan Severin, even though I'm full aware he's been doing shady deals behind my back. More than once I've heard tell of improper trading with goblins. I wouldn't be the least surprised if that were happening right now. Not a bell ago, a sack of oranges vanished, as did Severin. I want you to find and confront the bastard for me, Capicola. I'm sure there's wrongdoing afoot, so be sure to doubt anything that comes out of his mouth. Alright, let's go find that sea lubber. Anything in my hunting log that I can take care of while I'm here? Goblin gamblers, goblin fishers. Ooh, lost lambs. Don't mind if I do. You got Severin? Bloody hells, I'm up the strait without a paddle. Supposed to doubt him, right? What's this now? Staleworn sent you for the oranges? Huh. So the old bugger had known all this time. Ugh. What does it matter anyway? Listen, you're one of those goody-goody adventurer types, right? Go rescue me mates from those double-dealing goblins. They're just over yonder by the bonfire. So he sold his people out? For oranges? I'm aiding one of them. Severin sent you? Ha. The way he flew out of here, I was sure he had sold us down the river. Well, it feels like, isn't it? If you hadn't come, my dodo would have been cooked. Cooked dodo. Owe you one. Wouldn't have got away myself if not for Severin shoving me aside. They all ran back here towards Severin. They should be stringing them up. You saved me, mates, and for that I owe you. Suppose I should be ashamed I couldn't clean up my own mess. But a pirate knows no shame. I've no qualms about going back on my word. I'm only giving you the sack because I like the cut of your jib. Take it to Oswine, and send him my regards. There's 3 sacks of oranges. If we're being technical here. Write a sign. What do we have here? A delivery from Summerford Farms and as scheduled? Ha! There's a first time for everything. Well, look at that. Not a single one missing either. About the only things not here are those bagmen. And I don't miss them one bit. Here's Staleworn's payment in full. With you, I can trust. It'll reach him. I'm gonna go ahead and fast travel. Back in one piece? That's a relief. How do you fare, Capicola? Pretty good. Here's a sack of money. Ah, this is what I was aiming for. Looks to be all I was owed, all right. Though I'd be telling you false if I claimed I had not held out more hope for the Severin. I was even willing to overlook the skimming off the top, but to sell us all short in favor of those god-forsaken goblins? You'd do well to mind yourself around that two-gilt cheat. If he'd leave his own mates for the dead, there's no telling what he'll do to you. through the gate. Oh, darkness level 10. Oh, so for this, it replaces the hat. Alright, Gurkant. Gurkant seeks fertile soil to improve the yields of his newly plowed fields. He has a bracelet for me. Blast. At this rate, the crops will never be ready for harvest. If only we had black loam, just a bit could send our stalks soaring. Hey, I'll bet Rotwida knows where you might find some. Perhaps you might pay her a visit in the orchard. Alright, sure. Let's go to the orchard and see what Rockwida has to say. The Gherkin's got a head of cabbage if he thinks I'm fetching him any black loam. But if you dare to pinch some from the cook pot, then be my guest. Just mind you don't get trampled upon by the aurochs that dwell there. Once you've 3 bushels worth, take the black loam to free wall at Tiller's Rest. He'll know what to do. All right. I have to come over on the other side of this little thing. Oh no. Okay. Now let's kill this auroch. One more attack. And we'll pick up the rest of the black loam. Okay, now we have to go to Tiller's Rest. What could be at Tiller's Rest? Free wall. Even the weeds wither and die in this desolate dirt. Well, I have some black loam for you. But a bit of this black loam ought to change all that. I haven't seen any in ages. Gathering black loam's not for the weak of will, nor the weak of stomach, eh? Ha ha ha. Okay, please don't tell me Gurkant and Rotwida neglected to mention where black loam comes from. Well, surely you figured out on your own from the cloying stench. It comes from your auroch's lair, of all places. Ahem. Why dwell on who misled whom about what? What matters is that your efforts have brought us the black loam, and we can expect a bountiful harvest as a result. Thank you. Alright, let's get a quest from him. Freewall needs stolen farm tools recovered. Confounded pirates. They know nothing of tillin', only killin', stealing our shovels to melt and forge into axes of all things. They're biting the hand that feeds them. The mangy mongrels. I'd love to teach those curs a lesson in obedience myself. I haven't sworn to Stilwern that I would fight no more. So I need you to bring back our old farm tools and make sure those dogs reap what they've sown. Alright. Well, that's a lot of pirates. Oh, it's the captain, Peter Pigeontoe. What have you for me, Peter? Nothing? I need to kill 2 more pirates for my hunting log. While I'm here. Okay. Alright, Freewall. I wonder what those sea dogs will try and steal when there's no harvest. Ah, good to see the tools back, and in a serviceable condition, which will be more than we can say of Severn when we get our hands on him. The wretch likely had a role in the theft. Despite him meeting with pirates in secret I did. I couldn't care less if the wastrel won't work, but when he consorts with cut purses that take our tools away, he's crossed the line. Stilwern ought to know what sort of scallywag he's dealing with. Take the word to him, would you? Back to Summerford. Shoot. Over the bridge, I suppose. Would be there if I could have climbed the wall. Up we go. Pirates making off with our tools. Freewall did well not to take matters into his own hands. Last thing I need is blood on my crops. But I'll be damned if Severin thinks he can take us for fools. His treachery won't go unpunished. I've come to expect a great deal from you, lass, and you've never once let me down. Yet what I'd ask of you now goes beyond aught I've asked before. Would you hear my plea all the same? Though Stalwart has reason to believe that Severin is up to no good, something must be done. It eases my mind to have your ear. You're no doubt familiar with that scoundrel Severin by now. Well, the scheming scapegrace is at it again. Since that letter came for him, he's been skulking about in that manner he does when he's up to no good. Now he's rounded up his rogues and buggered off, with nary a word to anyone. I've grown accustomed to his insolence, but something tells me this is different. It ain't exactly damning, but when I last had words with him, he didn't look defiant as much as hunted. I can't help thinking he's gone looking for trouble and found more than he wanted. So I was hoping you might hunt his sorry hide down and drag it back here before it's too late. The ungrateful little cur bites me every chance he gets, but I can't quite bring myself to cut him loose. I suppose he reminds me a bit of my younger self. Suffice to say, I'd rather he didn't come to a sticky end. As for how to find him, I'd try asking Grenude at the Aetherite. She was the last one to see him. I dare say she'll be able to tell you where he was headed. To the Aetherite. Do you know where Severin is? Nothing that passes through those gates escapes my notice. I saw the Rouser and his rabble out for the Road Whisper Canyon. Set out for Woad Whisper Canyon not long ago, singing about drinking themselves stupider. Cheeky sod said I should join them. I told them I'd rather shrivel up than sip whatever it was that had pickled their brains. If you find the idle swine, be sure and give them a cuff round the ear from me, will you? Alright, let's go find Severin. Over to this weird bridgey thing. To the weird bridgey thing. You can't take a tumble over any of this. Right. Aylmer, what you got for me? Of all the dirty, deceitful, downright dastardly deeds that the slippery bastard's done. Claiming to take the lads out for a drink and only to lead us straight to a bloody trap. It don't get no lower than that. Of course, I've learned to stay a step ahead of old Severin, so I was ready. But the others weren't so lucky. You've got to help them. Let me aid you. Sorry, my axe. My axe may well have been a white flag for all the good it did. Hope you fare better, or the sorry bastards are in there are done for. Nobody's gonna help me, or? Sozai Zarzai. Sozai Rarzai. Kaiser Soze. Severin might have gotten us into this mess, but I ain't about to let him give his life for us. I'd sooner bow to a fishback than be in that conniving bastard's debt. To arms. A true knave. Is this god of war? Kratos? You betray even yourself, Severin. Ugh. We were prepared to overlook the matter of your desertion on the condition that you provided us with suitable replacements. That was the agreement. Yet your latest change of heart leaves your debt leaves your debt to us unpaid. Few are they who betray the serpent reaver twice. You will not do so a third time. Cowering behind your protector will only delay the inevitable. Honorless wretch, your life is all you have left. And worthless though it be, we shall take it. O mournful voice of creation, grant this humble stone a soul, that it may wake to life. Oh, he's creating a stone golem. Oh, it's a clay golem. Looks more stone than clay. We're giving this dude the old what for? Whack. You are strong. Impossible. That the golem could be vanquished. That woman is no ordinary adventurer. The golem. That spooky black robe guy is a golem. Sigh. The snake slithered away. I am only glad he did not have the chance to sink his fangs more deeply into you. Those pirates do not belong to any of the known Lominsian factions. Whom then do they serve? The beast tribes? Surely not. But the timing of their appearance coincides all too neatly with the recent surge in Sahagan and Kobold activity. Something is afoot. The question is, what? Could it be that the tribes are planning to summon their primals? 12 help us if it should prove so. Limsa would be hard-pressed to keep a single primal at bay, let alone two. But all is yet speculation. I must needs find evidence. The sea continues to rise, while the lesser moon continues to fall. That's a moon? And ilm by ilm, the world becomes ever more unlike itself. It is, as Louis Soir foretold. The coming of chaos has rendered the laws of nature mutable, blurring the boundary between the material and ethereal planes. Little now stands between us and the primals. But they are not yet here. Though time be against us, hope shall ever be on our side. Never did the creed of Charlian ring more true. Never did I dream that I would possess the means to see ether. Yet now that I do begin to take it for granted. How swiftly do the wonders of Charlian seem commonplace. Here, for you. Have you come for the festivities? Today the Maelstrom officially makes that great hole in the sea its training ground. Join in the celebrations. Wait, a disturbance in the etheric flow? But whence did it emanate? Seasong Grotto, perhaps? Now she's off. Oh. So that's when the golem was summoned and then she took off. That makes sense. What have we here? Can you walk? It's Severin. "'Tis I, regrettably. No, he eluded me. Understood. I will inform the Commodore." You collapsed from your exertions. Are you suitably recovered? Severin here has apprised me of all that has transpired. His account shed some light upon how you came to be attacked by a golem, of all things. A golem is a mindless automaton, inert save when commanded to do otherwise. Common pirates could not hope to control such a thing, so arcane are its workings. But then, these tattooed wretches are no common pirates. They are the minions of the Sahagin. As to their purpose, well, I shall get to the bottom of it. But first I must escort Severin back to his place of employment. I dare say Staleworn would be wondering what has become of him. And you too, for that matter. I will bear word to him of your preservation, but I am certain he would like to thank you in person. Pray pay the man a visit. Ah, as he told me of you, but perchance he did not tell you of me. My name is Y'shtola. I am a naturalist of sorts, surveying the ether in the hope that it might offer up some clue as to our predicament. I'd say I owe you my life, but that don't cover it. If it weren't for you, my friends would be dead and all. 'Tis a debt I can never repay, but I'll not make things worse by running away. Take me to Summerford Farms, and I'll face the consequences. For reasons I cannot fathom, you seem... Forgive me, mayhaps we shall have a chance to speak again when I have marshaled my thoughts. Until our paths next cross. Farewell. Alright, so Summerford is where we're heading. To talk to Staleworn. And here's Severin. In years and all, adventure, I've caused more than my fair share of trouble during my time here. Not that you need telling. Alright, Severin, what you got? Lo, I knew you'd return. Y'shtola delivered Severin a bit ago. Tales of your heroic deeds precede you. The rest came shuffling back too, a lot of them sporting the same haunted expression. It's me who's to blame for that and the rest. I was once a serpent reaver. A thrall to the Sahagan? 7 hells. Reavers may look and sound and act like pirates, but they're not, but the fishbacks flunkies. Us pirates ain't much for laws, but there's things we won't do. We've got a code, see, but the Reavers never followed a word of it. A few years back, they started snatching law-abiding Lominsians. I'd only just taken my oath when our captain bent the knee to his new Sahagan masters. I knew I had to get away. So I crept off one night to get myself a new name and found myself a new home, Summerford Farms. Trouble is, secrets don't stay secret for long around here, and word soon spread, all the way back to the sea. The penalty for desertion is death, but the reefers offered me a way out instead, my freedom in exchange for my mates. A letter. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't bloody thinking. Too busy soiling myself. Aye, but you got there in the end, didn't you? When the time came, you made the right decision. The men say little to me, but I hear 'em talk of how you stood up to the reavers at the last, of how you tried to give your life to save theirs. Be that as it may, no deed, however good, can atone for the crime of betraying your brethren. I know that, I do. That is why I'm going to hand myself over to the Yellow Jackets. I'll bring shame to the farm no more. You'll hear no arguments from me. Each man must sail according to his own moral compass. I just hope yours guides you back here someday. There will always be a place for you at Summerford Farms, lad. And I'll always be in your debt, Stalewern. I owe you a debt too, Julia. Not once have you let me down. Thank you for your saving the men of my farm. If I could ask one more favor of you, it'd be this. Tell Baderon what happened, from start to finish. I'm certain he'll put a good word for Severin if he knew the whole story. He's one of the few people I know who the Yellow Jackets listen to. Well, I reckon I've asked all I possibly can of you. Safe travels, lass. Alright, to Baderon. What in the world? Alright, Baderon. Bloody hells. Life on the farm ain't quite how I pictured it. But you needn't worry yourself over young Severin. The Yellow Jacket is out the punishment is a good friend of mine. And if I ask him nice, I reckon he'll be willing to commute this lad's sentence from hanging to keel hauling. Kindly gent that he is. I'm only jesting with you. I'll see he's treated fair. Now it sounds to me like you've done everything old Stalewern asked of you and more, justifying me generous finder's fee in the process. Much obliged, lass. As for an award, well, she's a lonely lady, this drowning wench of mine. How'd you fancy keeping her company for a spell, with free room and board? Venturing's a trying business after all. Them as don't rest their bones every now and again tend to end up with broken bones. And take it from me, fighting ain't nearly so much fun when you're nursing a shattered arm. Got that? Good. There will always be a free bed for you, so you make use of it. Now that you'll have much time for lying around. Not that you'll have much time for lying around. What with all the leaves you'll be doing. Oh, I didn't mention, I'm putting your name down for leaves. Our guild draws all manner of clients, offering all manner of odd jobs. Honestly, you'd be amazed how much folk will pay to avoid doing an honest day's labor. Just give to Mercury a shout when you feel like making a few extra gil. She'll always have some task or other for you to do. Oh, and it's all above board, because, in case you're wondering, we were careful to stay on the Admiral's right side near. Unlike some pirates I could mention, I tell you, if it turns out they'd ought to do with them kidnappings, there'll be 7 hells to pay. A proper bleeding reckoning. Perhaps that's what Limsa needs, though. On rough seas, sometimes you have to rock the boat to right it. But we'll have time for such talk when you're well and rested. Till then, enjoy the wench's hospitality. You'll now have access to recommendations. This feature displays a list of quests or duties currently available in your area. The recommendations list can be opened for under duty under the main menu and will also be displayed automatically when you log in. If you find yourself unsure what to do next, this tool makes it simple to locate activities suitable for your present class and level. Hold my hand. Greetings, I am one of the smiths, a stoker of fires and forger of futures. As a dedicated member of the Adventurers Guild, I have been entrusted with the task of providing assistance to new adventurers. I see you but recently taken up the adventurer's mantle. The possibilities stretching out before you must be positively daunting. In the Adventurers Guild, we see new adventurers as fledgling heroes. You are our champions of tomorrow, our nascent stars of limitless potential. My fellow smiths and I are here to provide you with guidance, but the guild also enlists a cadre of veteran adventurers who will be happy to share with you their accustomed wisdom. You can recognize these helpful men and women by their title of mentor. Mentors stand ready to advise you of any aspect of adventuring. They have hundreds of quests under their belts and will likely have a solution for whatever dilemma might be causing you trouble. A mentor may even offer to accompany you on your adventures. I highly recommend you take advantage of Mentor's aid to enrich your experiences in Eorzea. Pray do not hesitate to ask me if you would like to know more. The new adventure status is applied to all players who have recently begun their adventures in Eorzea. Amongst Eorzea's thriving population, there are seasoned players known as mentors who have taken it upon themselves to assist these new adventurers. When a new adventurer and mentor form a party, they both receive a bonus to experience points earned. Upon invitation by a mentor, new adventurers also gain access to the Novice Network, an exclusive chat channel where they can consult with mentors and share experiences with other beginning players. No one sets foot. I got a new book. It's red. Yeah. It's kind of nice looking. Cool. How do I get to the new Novice Network? Alright, cool. So we did that part, and our next step is going to be our next part of the journey. Now that we've met Y'shtola, we've taken care of the Summerford Farms quest line. Severin has turned himself into the Yellow Jackets. Baderon is pretty pleased with our progression, and he's probably going to farm us out somewhere else to do quests for them. My next point of order will probably be to move on to the Arcanist job, and then continue the main story. So I'll probably do a separate upload for that, but I hope you enjoyed this relatively shorter part 2 to get through that Summerford piece, and we'll continue our journey and next time. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful, calm, sleepy night and sweet dreams. Bye.